everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us today. It's going to be a fun day talking all about March. So happy March, everybody. Welcome. If you are new here, my name is Carrie. My husband Dale and I started gardening back 10 years ago now, and we are in Oklahoma. And we started, let's see if I can pull up a picture for you guys. We um, we started with two little teeny tiny gardens back there. You can kind of see, and then we got the gardening bug and turned our entire backyard over into a whole bunch of gardens and food for our family and flowers and everything you can think of. But along the way there was so much to learn, and we were always like, "Ah, I wish that there was an app to help us out here," and we could never find a good one. So here we are today. We ended up creating the Seed to Spoon app. So it's been a fun ride, and I know many of you have been with us since the beginning, so that's really exciting. Um, but yeah, it's been exciting, and literally everything that we need out in the garden, we're like, okay, we need to put this in the app. um, but it's been really fun. And then along the way, we discovered smart pots, which are these round raised beds. You can kind of see right here. And we have a lot of these in our garden. We are a huge fan, and that is how we met Edvin right here.
Here's Edvin. Yep, here at Smart Pot World headquarters, located here in Oklahoma City, which is not too far from Dale and Carrie. Been really happy to be a part of their gardening journey. So yeah, if you guys have any questions on fabric growing containers, definitely put it here in the chat. And I think we're going to be giving away some smart pots. Is that right, Carrie?
We're going to be doing a giveaway today. So all you need to do to be entered in to win is just comment into the chat, and then you will be doing a free 1 year premium Seed to Soon app subscription, which comes with, a lot of things. You can send pictures up to Growbot for plant help and for, anything like that. Any plant help, any pest identification, all of that. And you can also do the visual garden layout, unlimited plants there. And you also get free shipping on all of your orders through Park Seed, which is really exciting as well.
Really quick.
Oh,
Debbie had the question. Name of the app.
well, welcome. Thank you for joining. Seed to Spoon is the name of it. I popped up a QR code right up here, so you can scan that too, and it will take you into the App Store. I don't know actually where that takes you to. Somebody will have to let me know. I think Dale's the one that put it up there, so I don't know. Either it takes you to the website where there's download links there or something. I don't know. But we have it available for download on Android and Apple. So definitely do that. Yes, thank you. You can actually use the web app too. So at app.seedtospoon.net, and it'll pop up this. So you have all of the, like, everything right here too. So if you have premium on your phone, it will show up on the web app too. If you have plants or anything in your garden, like I have right here, these are my flowers that I just started in my biodome. And I logged them actually on my phone, but they are all showing up here too. So I can put notes in here and it'll show up on the phone, vice versa. It's really nice that everything just kind of like syncs together. Love that. So welcome. Sorry, I'm looking through the
Just,
comments. Hi, everybody.
just saw Paige Dawson. She has a little mini red robin tomato in her 1 gallon smart pot. I
I
just
love that.
grabbed a cutting from my tomato, my purple tomato, and I've got it growing in my transplanter. So right there with you, Paige.
That's awesome. Yes, I have my little kitchen mini tomato going back here. Of course, it's going great. It's been growing for over a year now, giving me fresh
Yeah,
tomatoes every day. It's
we
amazing.
all love that tomato. Honestly, it's perfect for that windowsill.
Yeah. So I am in just on the outskirts of Oklahoma City. So we are right smack in the middle of Oklahoma. Donna, I feel you too. We went a little overboard, I know, but we had a lot of fun. And I mean, of course it's fun. I get to grow anything and everything.
Looks like Shelley's having some issues with Grobot. What was that email? They could go ahead and email you any troubles with that.
Oh, so here's what I'm guessing the issue was, and we just released an update for it. If you were in dark mode in with Grobot, then it would like show up. Like technically, it would be there, but it would be like light on light or dark on dark. I don't know. But you couldn't really read it. But we have an update out, so go check for a new update. Um, both in Apple and Android too. But if by chance that doesn't fix it for you, send me an email here at support@seedspoon.net. Okay. Sorry, I'm scanning through. Autumn, you are always cracking me up. Let's see. Okay. Yay! Well, I'm glad that you all have made it today. It is going to be a super fun one. And last week, if you missed last week, Edvin and I actually talked about container gardening too, um, for like small spaces and all of that. It was super awesome. I had a lot of fun. I don't know about you, Edvin, but I loved it.
I definitely
Um,
did. And I was just reading, somebody said, "Are you experiencing any change in weather this year?" Last week, it was just about perfect to be in this greenhouse. Today, I'm literally questioning if I made a mistake. It's 76, it's sunny. I think it's like 90 degrees. Everything's loving it. I mean, I have this cool shot, of these peas that I planted. Everything's sprouting, loving it in the greenhouse. But I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit toasty in here. So yes, and I think we're
yeah,
gonna have
and
some
yesterday
crazy
it was really
storms.
cold too.
Yes, I know, which kind of scares me because they're predicting crazy storms here in the south, for the
Yeah.
next week. So I don't know. They're saying large hail. So these crazy shifts is what I don't like because that's usually what that
Mhm.
means. So we'll see.
Yep, absolutely. Um, okay, here, let me pull up. Yay. So here's our giveaway. Oh, and I forgot to mention too. So we do a giveaway after the fact too. So if you are watching this after the fact and you aren't live with us, welcome. I'm glad that you're joining us too. And I always feel bad that not everybody is able to join us live. So I do want to make sure that I do a giveaway for them as well. And all you need to do, again, to enter that is just comment on the video too. And I do have a winner from last week. So after that one posted and through this morning and right beforehand, pulled a winner. And it was congratulations to Malia B. So send me an email at info@seedtospoon.net and I'll get you all hooked up with all your goodies. And then
I wonder if she's from Tennessee.
it looks like it. And then don't go anywhere too. We'll be doing a giveaway for you all joining us live at the end of this stream as well. So again, all you need to do is just comment and to win. Okay, so first of all, I do kind of want to get this out that March is a very difficult month, I feel like, to keep basic because everybody is so different, right? I mean, here in Oklahoma, like there's things that I'm doing that those of you in the South are like, "Psh, if I haven't done that yet, I'm too late. Same as up north, like it might be way too early for you to do things. So throughout today, I have it kind of broken up into not like specialized zones or anything, just like cooler zones, warmer zones. If you have already had your last frost, all of that. Because, like I said, everybody is completely different. And March is such a turning point month for some people because some of you, there may be snow on the ground. Some of you may have not even had any more frost. So, or frost at all if you are very tropical, which I know some of you out there are pretty lucky. So, um, and I do want to say before we go too far that let me share the app again really quick. So the Seed to Spoon app will show you exactly what you can plant based on your location. So you don't have to guess and think, am I in this zone? Am I safe to plant this? Am I good to do this? All you need to do is just go into the Seed to Spoon app. If you give it permission for your location, it will pull from your closest weather station and it will actually go through and calculate out everything. So you can see for me right here, I have 6 weeks left until my last spring frost, which is exciting, which seems crazy because it's like supposed to be 80 today. But anyway,
Yes, it is definitely all of 80 today. Sorry.
yeah,
I was just opening the other door to the greenhouse to get a draft in because it's getting toasty.
you're going to start sweating on the live stream, aren't you?
Oh no, it's already there. Don't worry.
But in the Seed to Spoon out, there's a couple places like you can go on here. You can just scroll down. It'll have this Let's Grow section, which shows you like at a glance like what things you can start right now, either inside or outside. There's also this planting calendar that you can look at too. You can also go into growing guides, and whenever you click into any of these, you can scroll down and it will give you the exact planting dates for you in your area. So these ones, like I said, I was in Oklahoma City, so these are dates for Oklahoma City. So for me, hey, I actually can start some of these indoors if I want to get a head start. Cool. So yes, that is an easy way to go through and know exactly what to do and when. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I called that out for those of you who don't already know.
Yeah, and actually, Cami here had a really good point I hadn't even thought of. She said that it was really helpful since she used to live in a Georgia grow zone and now she's in Minnesota. It's
Oh yeah.
for anybody who is moving areas, you have to really restart all your knowledge. You almost have to relearn how to garden. So
Oh, I
this is a
know.
really really quick way to get a quick start and learn what to grow when. Super super helpful.
I like this. Harry Warp says, "What's frost?" You see, he doesn't even have a last frost, so don't worry. We'll be covering stuff for you too. Oh man.
Yeah,
Wow,
Wendy
but
was
we're
saying
actually
just a little
warmer
bit of
than
snow
him
left.
though today. Oh, Harry Warp says he's 76 here today. Right
Oh
now,
wow.
oh, actually, it says 76 right now on my watch, but at a high of 81. So, yes. Okay. So, let's talk a little bit about indoor seed starting because a lot of us are still doing indoor seed starting. Maybe not everybody, but I do have, I mean, you can see over here, I have some things actually already transplanted out from this biodome right here, but I do have a lot of things growing right now indoors. If you haven't seen these biodomes, these park seed biodomes make seed starting so easy, like effortless. Seriously, if I ever have difficulty growing anything or germinating anything, I'm always like, I need to bust out the biodome and have it growing in there. Um, it is just my favorite go-to things. Now, that being said, there's nothing wrong with having like I do have a tray going right here too. I just put I found like a little lid that actually fit it, and so that way it helped me a little bit too with that. But I typically keep like the things that I'm like I know they're going to germinate. I have a bunch of marigolds in there. Marigolds are generally pretty easy, so I'm like I'm going to put them in there. But yes, I mean there's nothing wrong with doing some germinating in regular trays or on your window ledge and all of that. Um, the biggest thing I do want to say is just do it. I mean, have fun and get things started that you want to be growing this year. Um, so there's a few things that you can still be going through and starting indoors. Again, totally based on where you are. Um, The things that are over here, I mean, I guess depending on how you're looking at the screen on the left, so all of those like cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, pansies, onions, like those things, if you are in like the cold zones up north, those things are for you. It is going to be a little on the late side for me here in zone 7 in the middle of the country, and definitely too late for those of you that are down south. Um, but absolutely, definitely get those started up north if you haven't already. I have a lot of broccoli going myself. I like to get a head start on a lot of those types of plants, like the broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, all of those, just because they tend to, I mean, they tend to be a little bit slower growers, and I want them to be able to get a harvest in before it gets too hot here. Because I feel like, I mean, Edvin, I mean, I'm sure you agree with me here. I feel like spring is so short and it goes immediately from like winter to 90 degrees in like a
Our
day. And
spring
it's like,
is like, oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna say a week to be conservative, but a day is really where it's at.
yeah.
I mean, it'll be literally like Carrie was saying. I would think it was like literally than it is today, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. So Donna
Yeah.
Plant
Yeah.
actually
Absolutely.
on that topic, Carrie, Donna Plant was asking. She was supposed to start hardening off her broccoli this week, but she's got some pouring rain. Should she wait before or after that rain has passed?
So I would, I mean, I wouldn't put it out in the pouring down rain because it's probably going to damage the tops of them, unless there's an area where it's like protected a little bit, like if it has like some covering, and then it can get a little bit of the wind exposure. But I wouldn't put it out in pouring down rain. I'd probably wait until that's done with. Um, but that's a great question. Yeah.
And then really quick, Carol inside of her biodome. She says she started some flower seeds in the biodome. Does she take the lid off when they have sprouted, or do you like to open the vent and keep the lid on?
Yeah. So what I do, you can kind of see what I got going over here. This one you can see I completely have the lid taken off. In here, I have the vents open now because things have started to sprout. But once pretty much everything has sprouted, that's when I go ahead and remove the dome. So that way I can make sure that they are like right up there, right underneath the lights. Because the further away that they are from the lights, the worse off they're going to be. You want them to be able to have plenty of exposure to the light so that way they don't start getting weak and leggy and start reaching towards the light. So removing that lid will be best practice at that point. Oh, good question. So, Juliet was asking, should horizontal raised beds be oriented east to west or north to south? So this is totally your preference, honestly. And depending on, I mean, you just have to think about what you want to grow and plan it out accordingly. Honestly, like it personally, I have no preference. Somebody else in here might have a preference, but at least for us, I just make sure that I know where the sun will be and try not to shade out certain things and all of that. So that's what I always keep in mind. So, regardless of which way they're oriented, I mean, you're going to have the sun affecting it either way. So,
Somebody was asking about. Oh, here we go. Desiree was asking any tips for keeping the birds from eating her seedlings. She didn't have any budget for some soil indoors, so she's direct planting 80% this year.
um, so if you have like if you're worried about like the seedlings, um, yeah, I know you said you didn't have budget for getting soil indoors, but I am going to recommend buying one thing. But you can get them fairly cheap ish on Amazon. It is oh my gosh, my mind went blank. The automatic sprinkler, like the motion activated sprinklers. Oh my gosh, they are life changing. So all you need to do is you just pop it into your garden, you connect it to a hose, keep it turned on, And then whenever it senses motion, so things like birds will come through, or cats, like it's great for that too, or deer even, and things like that. And as soon as it senses motion, like it'll start spraying erratically, and it scares off whatever's in your garden. Now, that being said, be careful for you, first of all, too, because I have sprayed myself way more than one time on these. The kids have done it too. Like it gets pretty entertaining, but I would highly recommend looking into something like that because I mean, and also, hey, it waters the garden for you too.
Depending on how smart your birds are that are in your area, you might be able to get some spinny things that just make some flashes. Also, they do
Mhm.
have the plastic owls. Sometimes that works. Sometimes the birds they get in tune with it, and then it doesn't work. So
Yeah,
maybe
I've
just try one of
definitely
those.
done those owls before, and I've had them up. The ones that have the rotating neck are going to be a little bit better because they move a little bit. Um, and also, you will need to keep up with moving it around, like move that little owl around, because they'll get used to it, and they will just be like, "Oh, it's just a decoration now," you know. So if you move it around a little bit, they won't quite catch on to what you're doing.
This is a good creation, and I feel like I see this almost everywhere on social media. From autumn, my starts have small true leaves. Should I pot up now, or should I wait when the first true leaves are larger?
So, you can up pot whenever you have true leaves. For me, I try not to up pot. Um, and I try to just take things directly from like my biodome and transplant them out. Now it doesn't always work that way. Like some of these that I have in here, I'm probably going to have to up pot, but that's more because they're starting to grow out and like their root systems are like becoming too much for the little container they're in. So I more look at the roots of the plant more than the true leaves. Like the true leaves are a good signifier that you can transplant them out, you can move them, you can do whatever. But I do try to limit how many times I do that just because I don't like disturbing the roots too many times. Because each time you do that, you risk something going wrong. So, um, yeah, totally up to you and what your plants look like. Like if they're struggling and they need more space, go ahead and do it now. Yes. And then, so also right now for the warmer seasons and for me too, like it is time for me to go in and start like my tomatoes and peppers and eggplant and marigold. Like I said, I have a bunch of marigold started right now, basil, all of those. I put marigold and basil on here because those are my two favorite companion plants for tomatoes. And I always, always make sure that I have a whole bunch of transplants of those ready to go whenever my tomatoes are ready to go in the garden. So that way I poof already have protection out there in the garden whenever I go and transplant them. So I highly recommend if you are not indoor seed starting those already, definitely look into doing like some marigolds and basil too. So that way they're ready to go.
Yeah, and really quick, Sammy had an intuitive idea. Can you just hit the biodome outside without the dome to harden the seedlings off?
Absolutely. I do this all the time. I mean, that's exactly what I do. I just take like that's what I'm going to be doing with these little guys right over here. I have a bunch of brassicas in there, and I'm going to be pulling those and just taking them outside, getting them used to the environment they're going in. But yeah, literally just carry out the biodomes or the trays, set them somewhere behind protection. Especially for where I am, because I have like chickens and things like that, and they have definitely broken and yeah, had issues before. So definitely make sure you're protecting those seedlings when you're hardening off.
Yep. And Harry Work had a question really quick. Does Smart Pot have transplant smart pots? So we do. So once your little seedling inside your biodome is ready, you can actually direct sow it into one of these Smart Pot transplanters. This is kind of a product I feel like not many people talk about, but it's one of my favorites. So it
It
actually
is.
has a slit down the middle. So whenever your seedling is whenever you're going to transplant it out either into your raised bed garden or into a larger smart pot, You actually just come down, pretty much just rip the sides apart. You'll see the roots on the sides, and then just dive right into whatever you're skip planting, and you can reuse this. Carrie just posted a great video of her and her family. They just power washing their smart pots. They're probably about eighth, 10th year easy. So these transplanters, as long as you keep track of them, will literally last you a lifetime. So another
Yeah.
great tip.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of those. I use those all the time for my tomatoes and peppers, especially because I start those inside so early. And I want to have them to be like a good size before they're ready to go out. So those are the perfect size for like my bigger tomatoes and things like that that I'm going to be indoor seed starting. So yeah,
And
whenever I'm
then
up, I up pot into those.
topic of cleaning. Lynn Burns said, "How do you clean your biodome for the new season?"
So what I do is I run them through. I just put them in the sink over here, and I pop them in there and wipe them down. You can either do like soap and water, or you can, if you had issues, you can do like a little splash of some like bleach or hydrogen peroxide, something like that. Um, you can do that to help get all that. But the main thing is to get all the debris off of it. Yeah, I mean, I really do like, I just have a sink that I pop them all into. And I do generally do a little bit of bleach in mine just because I don't want to have any issues with like molds or algae, things like that, that I might have had in the past.
Yeah, that's probably best for starting seedlings. You don't want to transfer any disease you might have had last season into this season, and just fresh start is probably better.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Oh, I actually do have a video. I will see if we can find it here in a little bit, and I can link to it. But I do have one that I've posted. So I know it's so hard to find older videos on like Instagram and Facebook, but searching YouTube should be easier. Yeah, I love this idea. A scrub brush, scrub it, and use this spray shower head. Yep, we've done that too. Like we'd pop them into the bathtub, and whenever we have like a huge amount of them, I actually did post a funny video one time of all of them going into the bath, and going in and getting washed. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about outdoor transplanting. So we were talking about all the things that you should be starting inside, but let's talk about some of the things that you can probably maybe be transplanting outdoors. Again, this is more for probably the middle of the area. So not necessarily like up north because you probably can't work your soil quite yet. And these plants will not do well if you still have like a lot of hard frosts left. But if you only have a little bit of light frosts, once you go through the process of hardening them off, these ones should be great for you. Um, so that being said, I know we talked a little bit about hardening off because somebody had a question, but the process of hardening off is super easy. All you need to do for like a week or so is just take those plants on like a field trip out to the garden. Just carry the tray itself, put it out there. Gradually, every single day, expose them to a little bit more of the elements, a little bit more sun, a little bit more wind, all of that. And pretty soon they will be perfectly, perfect to acclimated to where they're going. So these are ones that you can look at planting outdoors here soon if you haven't already. And then for those who are, again, in the cooler areas, here's a few more of the outdoor direct sowing. So the difference between some of the things I know, because we talked a little bit about like indoor seed starting, there are some things that you don't really want to start by seed indoors. And that's going to be things like root crops, especially just do not do well transplanted. So if you are able to plant them directly outdoors, that's the way to go. So pretty much any sort of root crop, carrots, beets, radish, turnips, potatoes, like all of those. They don't like having their roots messed with, obviously, because that's where they're growing their food. Also, things like peas don't love to be transplanted either. So, peas and beans are another one that kind of struggle a little bit if you try to transplant them. So, direct sowing is going to be best. I also love to direct sow just lettuce and spinach and all of that too. So, those ones are, just pop seeds out there in the garden and direct sow them right now, hopefully for a lot of you guys. And for those of you who can't yet, I'm very sorry. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
Well, Cammy's asking,
Um,
what's the trick to growing carrots?
a few tricks I will say for carrots. You will need to make sure that your soil is loose and that it's not compacted. So it make sure it doesn't have too much clay in it or just like hard, because you're going to be growing down below the soil. So it needs to be nice and airy, for lack of a better word. Um, so soil is a big thing. And then also just keeping them moist while they're germinating is another trick that you need to do. And that's something that I know a lot of people struggle with because, especially for carrots, because carrots can take a while to germinate. And the entire time you need to keep them pretty much consistently moist. So that's definitely a trick right there. But if you like what I do whenever I'm direct seeding carrots, I go through and I put like burlap on top of it and then I'll water the burlap in. So that way it has like an extra layer of moisture there and it's holding in the moisture a little bit better, so it helps a little bit more keep your plants protected or your seeds protected and keep the soil moist and all that. But make sure you check and remove it once the seeds do sprout. So you don't want them covered once they do sprout, but definitely give that a try. And then I thank you, Tanya, too. So she said trying the carrot seed tape from Park Seed this year. 100% agree on this too. So this is another trick for especially for carrots. If you guys haven't seen carrot seeds, or like they are like super duper tiny, and carrots are one that you definitely need to have them have their space, because if you have like too many seeds right together and a bunch of carrots growing in a row, that's when you get like the carrots like lumped all together. And yeah, we don't want those. So it's important to make sure that they're spaced out correctly. So instead of having to go through and thin them down and do all that, just having these carrot seed tape, oh yeah, it is definitely makes your life a whole lot easier.
Yeah, it sounds like Dov is in that boat of having trouble. She says, or he says that they're getting washed around with gentle spray, hard to keep moist. So definitely trying that seed spray if you're having trouble with the seeds of carrots.
Yeah, it's definitely something that can be challenging, and you're not alone out there. A lot of people struggle with carrots, especially. Let's see.
And somebody was asking about starting seeds in strawberry. The creator, really quick, can you grow strawberries in the smart pot? And something that I think Carrie and I are both be talking about a lot this year is actually the no cocoa liner. And you can see here, I've actually started some snow peas from Park Seed into these, and they're sprouted happily in this 90-degree greenhouse. But this is another great option for growing strawberries. So you can actually, I mean, sow them pretty heavily, and you can actually have them hanging off to the side, and they'll like literally multiply. So that's an option for growing strawberries that I'd recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. I grow strawberries in a lot of smart pots. Like in fact, like I will plant a couple of strawberries in there and just kind of let the strawberry runners take over the entire large smart pot, and works perfect. Great question here. We're about to be hit with false spring for a few days, high in the mid 70s, lows in the high 50s to low 60s. Is it okay to direct sow these during that window if it's going to be going back to cooler temperatures? Absolutely. In fact, I would be direct sowing now, absolutely, if I were you, because that will help to increase the germination rate. Like it'll go a lot faster for you. But these plants are ones that they actually like well, not these ones, that these ones are ones that actually like the cooler temperatures. They generally like those more, probably what you're going to be going down to, those temperatures. So these would actually be a perfect time for you to go through and plant those.
Shelly, and looks like she's in okay. As can you grow corn in a raised bed smart pot? Have a 6 and 8 foot. We've definitely tried it and done it here at the headquarters. The couple things that we learned is definitely try to fill up the raised beds as much as possible with as much soil as you can fit. Make sure the sides are really tall. And also, since you have two beds, we'd recommend actually planting them both out and having the corn side by side. Just by the way that corn is pollinated. So it pollinates itself. It needs to be kind of within itself. So that's what we would recommend: is plant both of them out relatively next to each other. And that, yeah, you definitely can grow corn. We've done it here, and it's super cool when you've got stalks of corn growing like in a small little raised bed. So super cool. Good luck with that. Let us know and send us pictures.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. The more corn you can plant, the better. Because the whenever we've planted it in the past, we do struggle if we don't plant enough. Just because, like you were saying, with the pollination and all of that, like they definitely need a lot of them.
Yep. You can help it. Some people like to go and they'll get like a paintbrush or something, and like when you see like the little twines start to form, and kind of just go and brush all the corn. That'll help you get more of them to actually coddle up. So things like that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I know a lot of these right here are a lot of people are going to be very jealous right now as I'm talking about the warmer zones. I'm looking at you, Harry Warp, who doesn't even know what a frost is. I know there's plenty of you out there, but those of you who are lucky enough to have already had your last frost, there are a lot that you can be planting. I mean, pretty much the sky's the limit now. But you're pretty much going to be done though with the direct sowing, at least, or of the cool season ones, because you're going to get hot real quick. So you're going to be heading into the transplanting, the tomatoes, the peppers, the cucumbers, the zinnias, the beans, like all of those. I mean, I feel like the sky's the limit. If you have already had your last frost, like literally the sky is the limit, and it would be amazing. I'm jealous because we still have what, a good 6 weeks left for us here. But hey, there's probably those of you who are jealous about our 6 week time. So
Yeah, we're in fall spring right now.
yes, oh yes, for sure. I was wearing shorts the other day. I was like, it's hot
Literally.
outside.
Well,
Yeah,
the
this
thing is,
weekend
I
we
was
were out
wearing
working in the garden. I was like, it's hot.
well, I think I was wearing shorts on Sunday, and then like we were just out, and then like by the time that the sun had set, it had gotten so cold that I was like needing a sweater and like changing out of my shorts. So just crazy weather.
Okay, great question. So MD was asking, do you recommend starting those inside for a zone 8A or direct sowing? So it depends on which ones you're talking about too. So some of these, yes. I mean, I would recommend starting like tomatoes and peppers, especially 8A might still be a little cool for some of them. But if you, I mean, it kind of just depends on your weather too. But probably like I would go ahead and get started with like the tomatoes and peppers and things like that indoors and then transplant them out. But I do prefer to do that anyways with especially the tomatoes and peppers, so that way I can put them on a warm mat, make them germinate a whole lot faster, and all of that.
Sharon's saying she knows a really good realtor in Florida if we ever get tired of our complaining. And honestly, was it like 2, 3 weeks ago when like the whole country was like literally like frosted and like just Florida was like an 80-degree chilling, hanging out. It was a little enticing.
Seriously, yeah. My sister lives in Florida and I'm always really jealous of it.
I almost don't want to call them. It's like, they call them like, oh, perfect weather over here.
Oh, there was one, I think it was last year. She sent me a picture of snow on the beach and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it was crazy that they actually like they had
Even
a little bit
that
of
still
snow."
sounds amazing, honestly. Like snow on the
Oh,
beach
I
still
know.
sounds
It
like
was
it'd be like I want to be
gorgeous.
there.
Yeah. So jealous of Florida. Okay, so outdoor tasks, and I mean, this really goes for most everybody, as long as your gardens are not covered by a whole bunch of snow right now. Um, but a lot of these things, like I'm doing in my garden right now. So I was like, okay, what am I doing? And I popped it all up here. So this last weekend, we went through our garden and we were laying down some fresh cardboard on the ground, trying to smother out our layers of Bermuda grass that we have and weeds that had come up. Because last year, like we got completely flooded and it washed away like all of our mulch and brought in a whole bunch of seeds of weeds and everything you can imagine. Um, but we are putting down fresh layers of cardboard, hopefully to smother out all those weeds. And we're going to be getting in some more mulch, on putting some mulch wood chips on top. We're going through and cleaning all of like our smart pots and things like that. So giving them a good like power wash. I even popped like some of the smaller ones into my wash machine inside. Um, it, Perfect. They look good as new whenever they pop out. It's amazing. Now I will say they do great in the wash machine, but I know Edvin in the past has always told me to not dry them, so I just laid them out to dry, and they worked perfect. So
Yeah, really quick on that note, smart pots are perfectly safe to put in washing machines, power wash like Carrie and her family did. Just do not put them in any type of dryer. They actually are heat treated, so that would actually warp the fabric, and you might end up with a wonky looking smart pot. So don't do that. Just the sun will. I mean, the sun actually, and if you don't have a power washer, I know you guys, just like me, you're gardening on a budget. You actually don't have to do that. If you had a perfectly safe harvest, the only time I would really recommend you doing a hard wash like that, possibly even with some OxyClean, is if you had some diseased plants or just like really hard bugs or something that was just going wrong in your garden last year that you're not sure about. Then I would really recommend you try to clean your smart pots just to kind of minimize that for this garden for this year. Other than that, if you had nothing crazy, you actually just all you have to do is just empty the smart pots, kind of tap them on the side of a fence or on the rock, get all that dirt out, and just set them out in the sun in a nice, bright, sunny, hot day. That'll kill 99 about like 90% of the germs. So just there's no effect to the smart pots if they look a little dusty. They'll still grow an amazing plant. So you don't need to do that there. It's just something great if you have the tools to do that.
yeah, absolutely. So I will say, like some of my smart pot, like they saved me whenever we had that huge flood go through. But that being said, like they were sitting in water for a while, so some of them did develop like the little like algae, like green on the outside. But I'm like, hey, you know what? They worked amazing. They saved my plants, and then I just went through and power washed it right off, and like seriously, just good as new. So yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
it's
people
perfect.
always like to either call us or write in, "Hey, I have this, buildup of green algae. Is this bad? Do I need to worry about it?" No, I mean it's just natural with horticulture. You have moisture and good soil growing, so it's just an effect of the garden. Also, if you have the white buildup, I don't have any smart pots that have it. The white calcium or hard water buildup on the sides, that also has no effect to your plant. It's just depending on your water. If you do want to minimize that, one thing that I've learned that kind of helps is the water that you're going to water your smart pots with, kind of a day before or a couple hours before, leave it out with like uncapped, maybe put it in a 5 gallon bucket or your watering can. That'll aerate the water and that'll get rid of um, a lot of the stuff that's in there. And it actually help you water your smart pots, and it'll keep them a lot cleaner. So that's what I do for the plants that we have in our office here. Is let's just aerate the water, so that helps a little bit.
Well, that's a really good tip too, especially like in the summer, because you can really shock your plants by giving them like super cold hose water. So
Yeah.
by putting out water and letting it get to room temperature, or room temperature, the outside temperature, it's going to be a whole lot healthier and better for your plants.
Yeah, and you never that's I mean, that's kind of what I do here in the greenhouse and even at home. Sometimes we have hoses that are long. You can also burn your plants if you don't let
Yes.
your water run out. That's something that we don't really check on or worry about. But our plants, they're already out there in the heat. When we scorch them with hot water down to the roots, that can sometimes be detrimental. Definitely keep that in mind when you're out there watering. Also, Deanne Goodwin was saying, when cleaning Smart Pot, should I put all new soil in him? And I think it just goes for, I mean, the tips that Carrie and I like to give is, as long as you didn't have any disease in your soil. I mean, we're really, we like to push about reusing your soil and just amending with compost, worm castings. So if you've had a successful, healthy garden last season, it's perfectly fine to reuse that. So, the only time I wouldn't is if you had just like an infestation of bugs, or if you just had diseased plants. Then I really would try to not use that soil if possible, and just start fresh.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, like yes, I reuse like 99% of my soil. So, I mean, it's very rare if I get rid of anything. And I just add in like fresh compost at the beginning of the season and just work it all in and it's perfect. I do like sometimes do a soil test just to check how the levels are, just to see if I need anything different for anything like that. So I did do one of those this year, and actually my soil was pretty good, so I was really happy about that. It suggested to put a little bit of wood ash in, and I was like, "Well, perfect. We have a fireplace. I'm going to go grab a little bit of wood ash and put that in there." So I'm good to go.
That's awesome. Yeah, and guys, I mean, soil tests. There's a lot of organizations that are local to. I mean, across the nation, I believe that are really into doing soil tests. They like to do it for their own databases, so they'll gladly sometimes do it for either like 20, $30, or a lot of times free. So if you're here in Oklahoma, I know the OSU extensions that are all across the state. They offer a lot of soil testings. You can actually just bring a sample, and you can do it either from, if you're going to be doing gardening just like in your backyard, you can take samples of that. Or if you have a raised bed garden, take samples of your raised bed garden soil. And just like Carrie said, they'll tell you exactly what you need to add to have a thriving garden. Um, so, tip on that. And also, really quick, Carol Connor was asking about the status of the new project we mentioned last week regarding cats. So the countdown is this Friday, Saturday. We will be posting something really, really cool. We're really excited. We'll be going to the Do It Best national trade show. Do It Best, if you guys are familiar, also acquired True Value. So Do It Best True Value retailers, they're going to be all coming to Denver, Colorado. And we are going to be showing off a brand new product. We're doing collaboration with Park Seed and Soul Soil. It's going to be super, super cool. So I'm really excited. If you're a pet lover, this is definitely going to be for you. I'm really excited about it. I mean, I think everybody who's on the team is a pet lover, pet owner. I mean, I love my dogs. My girl Lulu, I think she's actually watching the stream. My girlfriend's on watching, so I've had her whole life, 12 years. So I'm excited to provide to them, and we all love to garden, so why not include them? And I think this is the perfect way to do it. So stay tuned. I think you guys are all gonna love it. So yeah.
I love it. I'm excited too. This is a great question, real quick. So, if a cell in your seed tray develops mold, do I need to throw out surrounding cells too? I'm going to say no, and I'm also going to say don't don't be so quick to throw out what you have going too. So if you have like a seedling in there, just try your best to fix it. Like I actually have cinnamon that's actually just sitting right up there because that happens to me too. It happens to everybody. If you water a lot, especially if you water from above, it can really be a factor. But especially like just keeping a moist environment, if you don't have like a fan or anything like that set up, you're going to be developing some mold. Like it's a given. But super easy treatment is just sprinkling some cinnamon on top. Um, so I definitely would encourage you just to try that and see if you can get that out. Typically, if I have one that has like a bunch of mold, like I will try to, before I transplant it out, like maybe scrape off a little bit of the top moldy soil before I put it outside. But I mean, for the most part, like I'm doing my best to recover everything. I always try to nurse all of my plants back to health. I'm guilty of that.
No seedling left behind.
I know. I know.
Great Martin's asking about mulch, and I need your help on this. In terms of mulch, what is the best natural mulch that provides color and structure? I've used leaves and natural mulch, but color fades fast. And I know just from working a little bit at big box garden centers, I mean, the stuff that holds in the color sometimes is not the best stuff for your garden.
No.
It's great for like the front yard if you want to buy, and I would even have like rubber mulch, which I don't know, that can be iffy as well. But the stuff that claims to hold color and that they add color, like the red, brown, black stuff, like just generally isn't going to be the best for your garden. The natural stuff that is fading, it's fading because it's decomposing. And it's actually adding some type of nutrient back into your soil. It's just the natural process. I don't know, Carrie, you might have something different to say on that.
I mean, honestly, it's just gonna be. I mean, here I can pop up a picture. I mean, you can kind of see. I have this, which I mean, if you can get like some nice wood chips from a local place, like these right here were actually like really nice wood chips that I got from our local place called Minic Materials. But you can get wood chips that are actually like look really nice, that are, that are really good and natural, and hopefully like not fade. I mean, I know they are already light, but they're not going to provide a lot of color, but I mean, it is going to look nice. I feel like it looks pretty nice. So
Check your local municipality areas. I know before this huge snowstorm, the city of Oklahoma, just because in front of Oklahoma, our headquarters, they're going around and chopping a bunch of trees and preemptive of trying to avoid any power lines going down. So a lot of the cities have an over stockpile of wood chips. So if you are one of those gardeners who's kind of on a budget, check with them because a lot of times it's either free or like super cheap, like to the point where like a yard is $20 and like a yard is like you'll need a truck. So check with them. They'll also be able to provide other resources to find it local to you.
there's also a website that you can go to called getchipdrop.com, and it will connect you with local arborists, and they will come and deliver a bunch of wood chips to your area. Like we've been able to get a couple of those deliveries before. It's been, oh yeah, there you go. It's a great resource, and you can put money towards on there if you like want it real fast and you want to encourage arborists to send it to you. But otherwise, like it's free to sign up and all of that too.
Yeah, great, Martin. I know he was benefits of which
Oops.
between garden beds versus keeping it grass.
Sorry, did I? Were
Yeah, you're
you?
okay.
I'll let you.
Yeah, we'll go back to that. But just really quick, invitation for municipality wood chips. And I think this, well, unless it comes from a really trusted source, like I know Minic is a very trusted source, but you do kind of run into that with municipalities. You kind of don't know where they've got their stuff from. So you kind of got to be weary of that. This also this is where testing your soil can also help minimize any issues.
Well, and I will say, like, regarding this, like, a lot of the times when I'm getting wood chips, I'm putting them in my pathways and doing things like that. And I'm not necessarily putting them in my garden, too. So I won't do that unless it is like a trusted source, like or I've like tested to see how they're gonna do. Um, but yes, so as I was saying, um, so we've done it both ways. We have actually had gardens on top of grass before, and I mean, it is a pain to go through and either weed eat or mow around it. And it is very challenging. And it never fails that whenever we're doing that, some grass seeds or like all of that, it always gets blown up into the garden too, which leads to a whole lot more weeds and all of that too. Like it's just, there's just a lot of issues that I've had. Like, that being said, like, there's nothing wrong with it. You can absolutely do it as long as you're okay with going through and mowing and doing all that. There's nothing wrong with having grass. It just kind of gets to be a pain, especially for us. My goodness, we're already at 55 minutes. Whew, we're gonna have to like run through these last ones.
Having too
I
much
will just
fun.
I know. I will just touch very briefly on this. So, a lot of March, especially for the northern part, maybe even the central part, you're going to be doing a lot of garden planning. So, that just involves going through and planning out where you want things to go and looking at companion plants and all of that, which is big for me. I know I do a lot of companion planting, like I mentioned with my tomatoes and having the basil and marigolds going. But the Seed to Spoon app can really help you with your garden planning and also help you with companion planting and all of that too. So, great resource. Definitely check it out. Um, Real quick, there's a few common March mistakes that people can make is planting warm crops too early. So I know several of us mentioned we are in our false spring right now. And I think a lot of us are in a false spring right now. So you might be like, oh, it's plenty warm enough for me to go out there and plant this, when in fact it's not. It is actually going to be getting colder again for a lot of us soon. So just be aware of that and follow what the Seed to Spoon app tells you too, because the Seed to Spoon app will give you exact planting dates based on your location. Like, it's not going to be like, ooh, it's a false spring, you know. It'll give you exact planting dates based on your location.
Yeah, don't fall for
Um,
the trick. If you go to the big box stores and you see those beautiful tomatoes sitting there and thinking that it's to plant them, don't fall for that trick. If you have that garden itch, order you a packet of Park Seed seeds and sow those instead, because you're going to be upset when that frost that hasn't hits and you got to restart all over again. So don't fall for it.
uh, yes, yes, do not. Also, like another really big one too, like with your indoor seed starting, is forgetting hardening them off. So getting too excited and being like, "Oh, it's time for me to go out there and plant my brassicas," but forgetting the process of hardening off. So you want to make sure that your plants are getting used to the environment that they're going into, and you're not just throwing them in a shocking environment. So that's definitely something that that you want to be aware of too.
And I know somebody had asked earlier, like Cami is saying, totally plant marigolds with tomatoes. Asked, do we companion plant? That's one of the very first things that I learned from Carrie when I started watching her was about companion planting. And it honestly made gardening so much more fun and so much easier and cheaper, honestly, because didn't have to buy any of these crazy sprays that were just supposed to kill this bug and that bug. And I ended up killing my plants. Companion planting gets rid of a lot of bugs and it's actually a lot healthier. So definitely do that. That's the easiest one. Marigolds with tomatoes, super cool and a great pair.
Okay. My goodness. Okay. Do you want to pull up some questions or chat about the giveaway and I'll pull up a winner here?
Um, Somebody, Tanya, is asking here if the app is off from Farmers Almanac or the seed packet, which one do you follow? Um, Generally, I would actually follow the Seed to Spoon app just because it has the most up to date data. You put in your actual zip code, it's triangulated, and it actually uses weather center data. So that's what I would personally do. The seed packets, yes, they do have great instructions, but a lot of times they're generalized to fit most people. The app is meant to fit you specifically. So that's my tip on that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I might be biased as well, but I do like I always follow the Seed to Spoon app. But if you do find that something is way off, like message me, because like I am human. Like I might, like I always like double and triple check everything, and like I use the app every day too. So I feel like I catch most everything if there's a mistake. But if there is something, like please like send me an email, let me know, and I'll just double check and take a look at it for you too.
This is a hard one, but Paige Dawson was saying she's having a hard time with Bermuda grass, and I know Taylor and Carrie they like had a strong battle that I think they ended up winning. But I think it took a lot of cardboard boxes and a lot of time to just suppress that. I mean, Bermuda is meant to grow vigorously. I mean, it was bred to grow in the South where it's not supposed to be grassy here. So yes, it's a vigorous plant, and like one little sprout of it can get in your garden and take over.
Yes. Yeah, that's why we always go with like the cardboard and then wood chips piling on top of it. I feel you there. I've battled so many Bermuda grass. Okay. So we have a giveaway drawing that we're going to be doing. So every time you guys commented, it entered you in to win this giveaway. We're also going to be doing another giveaway too after the fact. So if you do not win, don't fret. You can still enter in to win. All you need to do is after this post, just come back into it and leave a comment. That's all you need to do to be entered in to win, and we'll announce that winner just like we did at the beginning of this one for the next one. So this lucky winner is going to be getting a free 1-year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription along with Smart Pots. So, woo, we have, there we go. Congratulations to the creator. Email us at info@seedtospoon.net and we will get you all hooked up with your free goodies. So congratulations.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Okay. Yeah. And like I said, we're here every week, same time, same place. So join us again next week and comment in the meantime so that way you can be entered in to win this next time too. Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing y'all next week. And if you're not already following Edvin and myself, like we're everywhere, I think. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you name
You'll
it, we're
definitely want
there.
to be watching this weekend, guys. If you're a pet lover, like I said, watch. I think it's gonna be super cool. We're really, really excited to be working on this for like a couple of years, actually. So we're super excited to finally bring this out. Um, Bringing a product to life is as hard as they say it is. So we're really, really excited to finally show you guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today, and we'll see y'all next week.